What's good, YouTube land? The Ultimate Form here, back again, once again. And today, people, today we are here for episode 22 of our Let's Play of Horizon Zero Dawn. In the last episode, we started our exploration of Meridian, the crown jewel of the Carja Sundom. This is now the second of a small little series of videos where we explore Meridian and the surrounding areas and take a stroll and learn about the Carja as a whole. In this episode, we'll be checking out the Hunter's Lodge. We'll be getting a couple quests from there. The Carja, the lodge is kind of a thing we started back in the beginning of the game, and we've gone through and I've done Blazing Suns for just about every challenge. There's two more that I still need to do. There's one in the Jewel, which is in the south, and there's one in the cut that I need to do as well. But when I get there, we get there. There's no rush. I have to try and get Blazing Suns for all of them, which is going to be hard because the stealth challenges are the ones I don't like. I have to try and get Blazing Suns at all. In the meantime, I forgot to go and talk to a friend of ours from the past. This is a Reed. If you guys remember back when we had the proving, completely forgot about him. Should have done him in the last episode. Forgot he was here. We're gonna have a little bit of a chat with him to start off with, and then we're gonna talk about the Carja. I got my handy dandy notes. Again, to reference past episodes, if you want to learn a little bit more about the game as a whole, feel free to go check out the Random Side Quest YouTube channel. I'll make sure I put a link in the description of this video just as a reminder. Nice little refresher for me because the Carja is a really big subject, and I've also got my handy dandy Horizon Zero Dawn art book, which I will be taking some information from and enlightening you. I need to go through a few of the data logs as well in preparation for the next episode, because we have small things to talk about and move forward with. If you like what you see here today, please make sure you slap that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring that bell to get notified of more episodes coming your way, hopefully daily. If you don't strike out and not do any, there might not be one tomorrow though, because I have a kind of a busy day out. And share with your family and your friends. If my videos don't get seen by people, more people won't see them, so make sure you share with your family and friends. Share on social media. There's social media links for me down in the description below. Also check out the YouTube channels of my friends. They're also down in the description below. My friend Dam, the Ultimate Blade, is currently playing Darksiders. He hasn't forgotten. He'll get back on it soon. We're kind of dealing with Destiny 2 stuff at the moment, and a lot to wrap our heads around at the moment. Check out Adam's channel in the description as well. That is Gaming Time. Hopefully we'll have some stuff to talk about in the coming months, because this year's not over yet. E3 might have not happened, but we still have stuff to talk about. And check out See More Entertainment. That's my boy Tommy. If I remember correctly, and Tommy will probably remind me at some point if he's moving forward with his new endeavor. Hopefully that will be the case, and then we'll slot him down in there as well.
Hey, Reed. Didn't want to startle you.
Oh, yes. I heard of the tragedy that befell your tribe. The sun hung low that day as we traveled back.
So, this is the Temple of the Sun Priests.
Where we offer our daily prayers for balance. I'm afraid only Carja can participate, but you are welcome to observe.
Don't worry, I'm used to it. What are these prayers?
To recognize the sun is to recognize we live in renewal. By its rise and fall, we determine what to take up and what to set aside. Offered to its pure heat, the skin peels, and old time is burned away. We treasure the blisters.
That sounds painful.
Well, there is no glory without sacrifice.
The temple looks out on the tower across the valley. Why?
Ah, that's the spire, guiding us forever skyward, gleaming with the rays of the sun at noon. It is said that the spire's shadow lay across this mesa when our ancestors came to the valley, searching for a home. Thus, sun and spire joined, showing the Karja where to build. The dawn of Meridian.
Always illuminating, Irid.
May you always go in light, my friend.
So, Reed has actually opened the door to what I wanted to discuss about the Karja's history. As we well know from discussions we've had about the Karja in the past, let me slowly walk over to the Hunter's Lodge. They are worshippers of the sun, thus Karja, and thus Karja Sundom, but they were their beginnings are held within the first Karja Sun King, who was named Aruman, who was part of the proto-tribe of the people who left the Aletheia cradle that sits in Mother's cradle. Mother's heart, sorry. And, All Mother Mountain. Getting myself mixed up. He was eventually exiled with many other people from the proto-tribe to where they live now, in the Karja Sundom, in the Mesa. And Aruman was exiled because he found texts, or the sacred leaves, as they were once called, in order to learn about astrology and such, which resulted in his exile, and used it to plot their path northwest to where we are now. He was made the first Karja Sun King, and every person born to his radiant line, his bloodline, are considered heirs to the throne and are anointed by the sun itself. Sorry, divinely appointed. Anointed also works, but yeah. In addition to Aruman's bloodline, we have the development of the Karja nobles, and the development of their rather advanced patriarchal society where the men hold the majority of the power. This is kind of different now because of the 14th Sun King Avad, who we will get to see soon enough, but in the meantime we will forego him for the time being. Oh, someone sounds a bit drunk. As mentioned, there are 14 Sun Kings, including Avad, Duran, and a few others. Pretty much up until the 6th Sun King, they were living a prosperous time and the development of their society. And
you need
after
to win
the
3 half-suns at our hunting grounds.
Oh, okay, sorry, Legan, I didn't know you would pop up right now. I will pause that conversation for now.
Very well, then. Congratulations, and welcome. Our members reap rewards and adventure and live on in legend.
Am I a member now?
No, you're only a fledgling. Junior members are called thrushes. To join and become a thrush, you need a senior member called a hawk to sponsor you.
So I need to find a hawk.
Yes, but a hawk can only sponsor 1 hunter at a time, and I'm afraid most of them already have one.
I've overcome worse odds. Where do I start?
Upstairs, present yourself to the Sunhawk Assis, our leader, who should introduce you to a hawk. I hope it's worth it.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
I like you, Legan, but you're a bit of a butthead. Okay, we'll table our conversation about the Karja history for the time being, and we'll talk about the
If you insist
Hunter's
on
Lodge.
staying, you'll want to introduce...
Thank you, Legan. Thank you. So, this is the Hunter's Lodge. As you can see, there's a Thunderjaw up there. And this is a Karja institution, normally ran by the Karja nobles. They are hunters and adventurers who pride themselves in the hunting of machines. As you can see, they developed a cultural aspect where hunting machines isn't just for survival like in the other tribes, but it's for sport. Some of these people live and die hunters, and Avad opened the doors to the Hunter's Lodge to the other tribes to allow them entry and to represent their tribes in their growth. Let's talk to...
By the sun! King Avad's edict really is taking effect. Never thought I'd see a Nora here, and a woman at that. So, you have marks for me?
What do you mean?
From the hunting grounds. Oh, right, you're new here.
So let's talk about the edict, which I just
What
mentioned.
edict? King Avad insisted that the Hunter's Lodge had to welcome everyone. Man, woman, outlander, regardless of tribe. Ursa, captain of the Vanguard, came in and delivered that news personally. You should have been there. It was glorious. But I figured they would sweep it under the rug and say no woman or outlander qualified. Yet here you are.
Are you a member?
Me? No. Karja don't exactly encourage their daughters to run around hunting machines. But all the changes in Meridian have been good to me. I don't think the Oseram know how to sell to us Karja. The trader I worked for last couldn't sell flowers to a bee. He was too plain-hammered, as they like to say. This is a much better job. I figure I'll be able to open my own shop soon enough.
What do you want with my marks?
You hunters and your badges. I'm not going to take them. I'm going to give you a weapon that sets you apart. Yeah, I thought that'd get your attention. If you earn marks in all 3 trials at each of the 5 hunting grounds, come to me. I can give you up to 3 weapons, 1 for 15 half-suns, 1 for 15 full suns, and 1 you'll love for all blazing suns.
What do I do with these marks?
If you get the same mark from all the hunting ground trials, I can give you a Hunter's Lodge weapon. Show me what marks you've earned, and we'll see if you qualify for one of these special weapons I have for you.
I'm a little short on marks.
No problem. Once you have marks from all 15 trials, you'll be able to get the next Hunter's Lodge weapon from me.
So we can't do that just yet, but I
Can I
think
do
will she show me? No, she won't show me until I
How are
have
the
all
trials
the...
Right. Okay.
Once I have all 15 marks. Or at least 15 half-suns. So that means I have a few more left. Bylaws of the lodge. Let's have a quick peek at that one. Yeah, just the rules of the lodge. What we can, what we can't do. Things about membership. Proof of the hunt. Stuff like that. If you die, you die. Pretty much. There are only a small number of hawks at any one time. So, it's to kind of hold on to that level of...
Tarkus impressed with his skills, but he sponsored Talana. Now we're left with her. She had fallen instead.
Oh, I take it there's some drama going on. That should be Talana. While I'm here, I can talk about the Karja's aesthetic. You may have noticed that each tribe has an aesthetic. Aloy can wear their clothes, so I can show off their aesthetic a bit differently, but the Hunter's Lodge is a good place to see how Karja dress. And the Karja, like, if you're walking around in Nora clothes or Oseram clothes, the people around you will actually comment on your clothes. So if you're in Meridian or any Karja settlement, try different clothes on and try talking to the random NPCs, and they'll say something about your clothes. Interesting little detail. They have the most sophisticated design aesthetic when it comes to clothing, and they layer silk and other materials like leather on occasion, but mostly silks, as this outfit shows, and interweaving machine parts into them rather than tacking them on top or using them practically as armor. They also have, I mentioned it before when we came into the old village down below, about the evident avian aesthetic, and you can see from the headdresses and how the armor's laid out like feathers. So that's also something to take note, and I really enjoy this because they're like bird people, and then they like to go and, like, how birds like nest in trees, they would have that mentality that everything below them is savage and unsophisticated.
Can't believe Redmaw defeated Tarkus. He was such a good hunter, but Redmaw is a beast of a Thunderjaw. I'd never face it.
Okay, take it, something's going on.
I'm a member. Go bother the other sludges and leave me alone.
No, this is...
I'm a member. Go bother the other sludges and leave me
And it won't let me... Will it not let me talk to her? I guess I can't talk to her to shit. That's Talana. We're gonna have fun with Talana eventually. I kind of wanted to talk to her beforehand. There are a couple more scanned glyphs around here. I'm gonna want to try and see if I can find them.
I've been trophy hunting for years. Still haven't gotten a sponsor.
I'd asked Talana to sponsor me, but Her sponsor just died. Can't imagine what she must be going through.
Oh, that gives context to what's going on. Let's check out the bar.
What have we here? Honora Fledge.
I bet I've been hunting longer than you have. Are you a fledgling?
Not for long. I have a hawk who's about to sponsor me, so you're out of luck.
Typical savage. Barging in here without a thought. Right after one of our own was killed. Go away.
What, you're mean? I don't know if there's a really bad echo in my room. Oh, I'm like 3 short, so I have one more hunting. Yeah, I have one more hunting ground to go to. The records of Redmore. There should be a few of those around here. Let me have a look. So Redmore is a notorious Thunderjaw, who is responsible for killing quite a few of the members of the lodge. Recently, Tarkus, who was the hawk that sponsored Talana. I don't want to talk to Assis yet. I don't know if it will auto that one. Let me have a look out here. They made a little shrine there to fallen hunters. But yeah, I was talking about Talana and Tarkus. As far as I know, there was a sun. Actually, I probably should talk about that first. So there are several roles. We mentioned the fledgling, the thrush, the sunhawk, and the hawk, and their different roles. If you're the sunhawk, you're the leader of the lodge. Normally, the right of succession comes by way of death. So the previous sunhawk dies, their hawk, or the next hawk in standing takes the role. Same thing with being a thrush or being a hawk and then a thrush. If your hawk dies, you take their position as a hawk. Let's talk to Assis. I love his outfit. Not very protective though.
Excuse us. The machine rider graces us with her presence. You're Honora, are you not? A fighter from the savage lands.
The sacred land, but yes. I fought for everything I got.
Huh. Tell me, do the Nora often wander into other people's homes and do whatever they like?
Of course not.
But that is what you're doing, right now. Stinking up our lodge, pestering your betters.
You're hardly my better. Legan said I had to meet you to become a member.
That would be true if there were any chance of you becoming a member. But you're a savage. And no savage will rise in the ranks of the Hunter's Lodge while I am the Sun Hawk. Now be gone.
No. I was led to believe there are rules here. If they count for nothing, then even your position is meaningless. So quit blustering and tell me. Is there a hawk who is free to sponsor me?
Very well. Talana is free. Wouldn't that be fitting? Trash sponsoring trash. Now get out of my sight.
Wow, you're not a nice person, my guy. Side mission, up into the lodge. I can do that, but I'm not willing to do that right now. This would be a side quest, right? Is it not a side quest? I'll figure it out. Let's go talk to Talana. Under the lodge. There we go. Didn't realise where it was.
I'm not going home. No.
I love Talana's outfit. The way it's layered is magnificent, and it's kind of based on the one that we're wearing, but has different modifications to make her stand out.
You're Talana? Assis said you were a hawk without a fledgling to sponsor. Or are you trying to drive me off too? It's okay, I've dealt with worse.
I'll bet you have. But you're wrong. It's not okay. Especially not today.
What happened today?
One of our own just died fighting Red Maw. You'll never face a more dangerous Thunderjaw. Cuts through trees, rocks, people.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's part of the hunt.
Is there any actual hunting in this lodge? So far, it's been all talk.
Yes, of course. You fight a machine, then bring its trophy to Assis the Sunhawk, then no one can deny you brought it down.
Assis. What's his story?
He's the Sunhawk of the lodge. The highest ranking asshole... Sorry, member. He's taken down Ravagers, Stalkers, Behemoths.
So? I've taken down a lot of machines.
As have I. Even brought down 2 Stormbirds. But he's a Hawk who brought in the trophies first. That's how it works. Whichever Hawk defeats the greatest machine first, becomes a Sunhawk.
How does one become a Hawk?
When a Hawk dies, his Thrush is promoted in his place, no matter how anyone feels about it.
Who is this Legan, the man at the door?
Legan? He's a Hawk. He had an impressive run in his day, but he doesn't fight anymore. He supports the lodge in other ways. Unlike the other Hawks, who hoard all the best kills and drink the bar dry.
I'm ready to hunt, so tell me, what do I have to do?
You want them to regret looking down on you? Then speak to them in their language. Kill 3 Sawtooths, 2 Ravagers, and a Stalker. Deliver their trophies directly to Assis. That should shut them all up.
So if I do that, you'll sponsor me?
I'll consider it. Just to make Assis spoil.
I like Talana. I like her attitude. Her attitude stinks, bro.
Forget something?
Her attitude actually stinks. She just wants Assis to boil in his skin, and I love it. But yeah, that's pretty much us done here for now. We'll take on the trophies when we get the chance. I'm gonna go head down to the old town because there's stuff for us to do there, and then in the 3rd episode we'll continue talking about the Carja and dealing with some of the other stuff to do with them. We can talk about their hierarchy and the reason why the Sundom is in its current state.
I may not have all the answers, but there is a book of bylaws here which can tell you more about the...
Suddenly you're a lot nicer.
I saw you talking to Talana. She's tough. You'd be lucky to keep up with her, machine rider or no.
He's singing a different tune, isn't he? I need to put on camps, and I need to head down. Oops. There we go. Cool, so we're going to do a last little bit of exploration, and then we are going to pick a random errand quest rather, and start that. I want to be somewhat systematic with this stuff, but if I can't, then I'll do my best. Let's take the quest marker off. Oops. Take the quest marker off for now, and we're gonna walk back into Meridian real quick and have a bit of a peruse and a wander around while we finish up discussing Carja history. This is Meridian Village. I know there's still some stuff here. So we had his side quest to do. I actually really like how they've the build aesthetic for the Carja. They are, unlike the Oseram who generally build for function over aesthetics, the Carja are somewhat the opposite. They build very much for how some things look, and it shows. They're very advanced and sophisticated with how they build things, normally with wood as their base, which is normally carved, then polished and lacquered.
Their necessities.
Okay, there's a lot of people talking. So that's the...
Won't find better wares. You'll regret not stopping when you're in the thick of it. Take a look at these wares.
Normally polished, lacquered, and then embossed or even layered with pieces of metal to make them look pretty. Let me refer to the book real quick. I can't remember what page it is. If you happen to have a copy of the art book, this would be in the Carja section of the book, and would be page, happens to be the page without page numbers on it, because a lot of the pages don't. 66, 67. It's a double page spread that shows some of the way they construct things, even down to their spears. As it says here, every product in Meridian is a result of sophisticated processing. Wood gets polished, carved, painted, or lacquered, enriched with inlays. Metal is engraved and welded onto its shape. Glass can be grinded and engraved. The typical Meridian ornaments are poured over every surface, creating intricate designs. So the quote from the book there, it might actually explain many of the things in terms of material objects. But when it comes to buildings now, this is where the Carja themselves have this amalgamation with the building processes of the Rosaram. When they came to the Mesa, they built into the cliffs, which is why lots of the buildings are stone at their base and go higher, or built straight out of the rock. You can see many of them are built off the side of the cliffs. This was a way for them to, let me get in a better position, have a look. This is to, obviously, if you're building a settlement and in order to protect it, you have to build fortifications. Many of these houses are built in such a way that they're somewhat serve as fortifications. Down here, I think it was the third king, I forgot what his name is, I need to go and find the log with the list of the kings on it eventually, built the old village down here, and then with the irrigation and stuff into the farmlands to build, in order to have all the food that they would need in order to feed their people. So you can see even all the way down here, they take water from higher up in the mesa, and it comes down and it serves as irrigation for the farmlands. There we go. Let me quickly check in here. So I know there's a data log, another data log that I haven't gotten, that's down here somewhere. I have to give it a clean look. So they are sophisticated enough, see the Royal Maze lands, they're sophisticated enough to have agriculture and not just serve as hunter-gatherers. They are farmers as well. The farmers serve as the lowest caste of people in the village. Should we go up there? We can do. That would be a bit of a walk though. We can do. Yeah, let's take the walk. Let's take the walk to the spire, because then I can talk about more stuff on the way there. So, yeah, so we can talk about their social hierarchy. Of course, the Sun King and the royal family stand above all else. Technically, in the way that their society is designed, it is then the Sun Priests who sit underneath the roles of the royals and the Sun King, and then the nobles. This definitely gives credence to people like Arid and Niman that we've met, and how much sway that they have. As we learned, many things are passed down through their family lines. As Niman mentioned in yesterday's episode, that he got his robes from his brother. But a family doesn't necessarily has to continue certain family ideals or roles. Niman's brother tried fervently to stop him from becoming a priest. So that's also something to... I think we have a mission on the other side of this part, the Mesa. Yeah, we do. So we can get the remains of the royal sword, of that dude's sword. Actually, I won't do that, because technically I need to go and track down who took it. Technically I need to go track down who took it first. But we'll do that later. Probably be the first quest that we do. But I want to walk up to the spire, because the spire is an interesting thing. as you may have noticed, it isn't natural. Just like the metal flowers and the machines themselves, they are otherworldly in nature, obviously built by the machines, built by the system, but for a purpose that we will get into later on. I feel like such a tease saying things like that, but it's true. We can't do very much with that information, as it's kind of a spoiler to the story. But the purpose that it serves is actually rather pivotal to understanding what happened in the history of the past, and getting a taste for some of the mechanics that may be introduced in future games. I hope I'm not pushing Alo too. Oh, I'm getting flashbacks to the end of the game now. But I want to run up here quickly and show you the area around the spire. The spire is treated as a sacred site, so as a result, they took time to build around it. So like the stairs, the bridge, like you have to be pretty technologically advanced to understand what stairs are and how they work to build stone ones. Stone stairs aren't easy to make. But this is the mesa that by which the spire sits upon. As mentioned by Irid, when Aruman came and found the mesa by which Meridian stands on, he could see the spire across it, and obviously they built around it. This symbol, if you happen to come across the art book or have a copy of it, you'll see this symbol a lot. It is the 8-pointed sun, sometimes seen with 4, sometimes seen with 5. This one is 8. It's a common symbol, and it looks almost mechanical or like machine inspired. Looks kind of like a circuit board, which is something that comes up quite often in small details of cartridge design. Don't know if we're able to find examples of them in Meridian, but if I find one, I will endeavour to show it. Let's, for the end of this episode, go back to investigate the crime scene. Let's go back. Let's start this quest off, and then the next episode we'll finish it off. There isn't much else to talk about. The only other things I'll save for the next episode. As always, I invite everyone watching to ask me questions in the comment section below. As a gentle reminder, we still need 2 names for our 2 other mounts, our Broadhorn and our Charger, so feel free to let me know what kind of names we should call them. We already have Isabel, our Strider, and we do have a Broadhorn and a Charger, so I want to give them names. I want to give them nice names too, sassy names too, because the Charger that I had to fight in order to override it actually kicked me in the face first. Actually managed to kick me in the face first, so she definitely deserves a sassy name.
The thief broke the lattice on the way out. And some blood. Looks like they cut themselves on the splinters. Drops of blood leading away. You saw the thief make a run for it?
My back was to the wall, you see. Wasn't expecting someone to crawl out the window. He ran past me, dressed in gray, clutching a sword. That's all I saw. By the sun, my heart nearly seized up.
Don't pass up these goods.
Oh, there's a lot of blood. He bleed a lot.
More blood. I'm still on the trail.
It won't do it all.
Oh god, he hurt bad. Even the Carja kids wear headdresses. Oh, you're cute.
I don't need any help.
I wasn't gonna help you anyway, little sprog.
Still more blood. The thief got cut pretty bad.
I've got all the best goods here.
Trail ends here. But someone must have seen the thief.
Would you like to buy something?
Did someone run past here, holding a sword?
Sure did. He grabbed some linen off the stand here and took off down the stairs behind you. He was bleeding, so maybe he needed a binding. Blast it! That was expensive cloth. I can't believe I paid for that thief's bandage.
Okay, like that matters.
14 kings have sat on the throne.
If the thief came this way, there's only one way he could have gone.
Down the elevator? You've gone
No
down.
sign of the thief. Someone must have seen him go by. Did you see anyone run through here? He would have been holding a sword.
Yeah, almost crashed into me too. He ran down the parapet here and went down the lift. No way you'll catch him now. I didn't see a sword though.
He wasn't carrying anything.
Not a damn thing. Just ran like his ass was on fire.
The thief must have ditched the sword. But where? Maybe he had help. That merchant stall would have been a convenient drop-off.
I love how Aloy is legitimately the like a detective. Like somehow her ability, well, I mean, the focus helps, but her ability to discern things and the skill and tact by which she does so is kind of impressive.
It looks like the thief got away, but without the sword. I thought maybe he dropped it off somewhere. Like here, for instance?
What? No. I had nothing to do with this.
I guess we'll see when I get the city guard to toss your stall and question your customers.
Hold on. There's more to this. You've got a reputation for shining light in the darkness, so I know you'll listen. You're right. The sword was passed to me, and I passed it on to someone else. It's going to be sold, but not for profit. The shards will go to people in need.
You expect me to believe that?
I can prove it. Meet my friends at the watermill in the lower village. They'll explain everything. If they don't convince you, come right back with the guards. I'm not going anywhere.
It wouldn't matter if you did. I'd find you. But all right. I'll check out the watermill. Okay. Guess I should go to this watermill then to find out what's going on.
Gonna have to go down the lift finally. We've heard mention of the lifts before, but these are probably the most sophisticated thing that the people of this current era have built. Built between the Carja and the Oseram, these lifts are pretty much what you would expect from a conventional lift, born with the materials that they have. So I have to call it first. And you can see the chains and the weights moving behind it. Very ornate decorations, use of metalwork. Carja inspired but Oseram built. Marvel of this modern era, I take it.
This heat crawls.
Yeah, it is hot. It's actually hot today, like really, really humid. British weather is never nice. We normally have rain 9 months out of the year most of the time, but when we do get hot weather, it is brutal and unforgiving. So make sure you're out here drinking your water, staying safe, and not pushing yourself too hard. My water's finished. I'm gonna have to make sure I drink another cup after this episode is finished. We're gonna finish up pretty soon, don't worry. I did plan this episode out pretty much step for step, but it is taking a little bit longer. I was talking about the hierarchy, yes. The Carja, oh yeah, I diverted subject so quickly. So the Carja also have people in administrative positions as well as legal ones. So they have magistrates, judges, they kind of have attorneys, so to speak. There are people who very much look after the laws of the people, and that's about it. Where is it? Because I know I saw it in the book, which is why I wrote it down. Open the page for the Sun King. In here it says on page 52, as the only highly evolved civilized culture, the Carja Also the tribe that has the most developed social hierarchy. At the top of the stands is the Sun King, the ruler of the Kaja, and the living incarnation of the sun. That's rather grandiose, don't you think?
This wouldn't be a scrap dealing operation, that we would have class. And I told you
Fine goods for
I'm gonna swim. There we go. Leaving Meridian. We should be able to just go back to that bank and then cross the bridge. Below him are the priests who observe the sun and the stars, casting the auguries, manage the treasury, as well as serve as magistrates to decide the conflicts among the Kaja of lesser ranks. Next come the nobles, typically traders or military officers. Each noble belongs to a family house. Distinguished nobles also serve as commanders or provincial governors at Kaja outposts. One of those we're going to meet when we go to Free Market, because his daughter is really important to the line of quests, and I quite like her as a character. What else is here? Most of the tribe's fighting men took the side of the insurgency that we heard about, as we know the Kaja are split, and we'll talk about the that second group of Kaja eventually. And now the Kaja military was made up of those who stayed and the Oseram who became allies to the Kaja. Lastly are the artisans, traders and merchants, who are now the working class, if to give a facsimile to us, and then you have the labourers, the farmers, the porters and the servants. Kaja did have slaves. They did have an ongoing slave trade during the Red Rains. They didn't just kill people, they did take people as slaves, as we saw in the last episode with the Otaru tribeswoman that we met and that we have to go and help eventually. They did it with Nora, they did it with the Oseram, they did it with everyone they could get, even the Banuk. They travelled to the north, the south, the east and the west, and made effort to pretty much take everything they could in order to fight the derangement.
Should be out there fighting machines, or pacing around here.
A nice little outfit they got here. They seem to be taking stuff.
My poor feet.
So if you take a look at this Kaja spear, you can see that it's made of carved, polished wood, and then the other bits, like the actual metal parts, are laid on top and are also engraved. So that's just going back to what I was talking about there.
I was told to expect you, Aloy. I suppose you want answers. Well, it's not complicated. We collect valuable objects from people who don't need them, sell them for shards, and use the money to help the needy at Sunfall.
You mean you steal?
If you want to call it that. From hogs who've had their turn at the trough for generations.
Ravon didn't seem like a hog to me.
He stinks just like the rest of them, of wealth and contentment, while people beneath him suffer.
Who exactly gets the shards at Sunfall?
Not the bastards in the fortress. We use the shards to make sure the poor in Shadowside get to eat, or bandage their wounds. They only went west because they had to. Trust me, I know. My wife was chained up with a bunch of servants and herded with them. They starved to death, still bound together.
Oh. I'm sorry.
So am I.
Where's the sword now?
Safe. I haven't sold it yet.
What do you expect me to do now? Walk away?
I was hoping you'd help us. They say you can track like a stalker. Well, my partner Nassan disappeared near the branded shore. He was bound for Sunfall, along with an entire shipment of food. If you found that, you'd be helping a lot of people.
I'll consider it. But only if you return the sword to Ravon.
I knew you were gonna say that. Fine, I'll return the damn blade. Nassan was supposed to meet his contact at an old campfire on the fork near the branded shore. Start looking there. But be careful. Lots of machines out there, and lots of Shadow Karja. And not the needy kind, but they're tormentors.
We all have our place in the order of things.
So we have greater context. We won't be heading up here just yet. As you can see where it is, we don't need to go there. Because we will head towards Sunfall, which is located here in due time. Just wanted to get that quest moving. But yeah, I think I'll end the episode here, just in case my family decide they want to come back home now, and it's kind of late. I need to start getting stuff for dinner ready. But I will hopefully see you guys back here tomorrow and continue on our exploration of the Karja. If you like what you've seen here today, please make sure you slap that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell to get notified of more content coming your way, share with your family and your friends, and I've been your boy Lan, the Ultimate Form, and I will catch you cats later.